In this second example, we're looking at a set of data for Year 11 General Maths students doing their first assessment task. We've got all these percentages that are given, and what we're looking to do is we're looking to summarise the information into a table. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to try to work out each one of these things. So we're going to start off with the midpoint. Midpoint is roughly halfway between, in this case we've got class data, so halfway between 40 and 59, we're going to find 49.5. I'm going to go through and do all that table for you now, and we'll go back and have a look in this. So, we've done the midpoint. We can go through and write the tallies. Tallies are just the strokes as per normal, and the frequency, which is the number of schools that happen in that group. So, here's one I prepared earlier. Whoops, that's not the one I prepared earlier. Here's one I prepared earlier. Going through, marking in our midpoints, doing our tallies, calculating our frequencies. As you can see, I'm always cross them off so that I can keep track of how many I've done. Nothing worse than getting lost halfway through. So our next step was to do our midpoint. So we've completed the table. Now we're going to have to display it as a histogram. So what's a histogram, I hear you ask? Well, a histogram is a graph essentially showing the marks. So in this case, we can go through and we can mark all along the bottom being our independent variable, so the ranges for the marks, and our dependent variable being the actual number of students that got that marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it and bring up. So here's one I created earlier. I've labelled down the key points. So make sure you label the axis, use the appropriate scales, so something that's going to fit all the data on there. Use the midpoint for the class centre, so marking our class centres in each time. Label the dashes first, so you remember to leave half a column at the start and at the end. And going through and make sure you label each one. Don't forget to label them. Right.